Subobroto, I will try to call him as Subo because we are old friends. 12 years back, Westin Hotel, ACEF, same event. And you and me, we are decoding about, are we getting digital marketing right? And you use your I am, what is it, student hat, and you calculated and shown me this much crore of rupees, Vikram, is going wasted in digital marketing. And also there is a saying in advertisement in our generation, we used to say that half the money we spend in advertising is a waste. Irony is we don't know which half. So now we have AI also, Subbu. So initially it was only human mind, now we have AI also. So take us through your rich experience of working with national, international brands. Where do you see organizations getting AI right? You can throw some light. And also, where do you clearly see that we are over-investing in AI without returns?
So good evening. Let me share this answer into two parts. I see, since I've been consulting across different MSME in India and international, across international borders. World Bank, I've been working for Sri Lanka, APAC region, Bangladesh. So what I see here, if I tell you a simple math, what is happening in the AI is 68 million SMEs are there in India. This 68 million, if you Google, you will see the same number. This 68 or 63.4 million SMEs are in India who contribute 30% of the India's GDP. This is a math. So in this math, only 1% or even 1.2% of the entire business community are not even using digital properly, forget about AI. This is what is happening. Now let's not consider the top tier big companies and big corporates who are already graduated and adopted AI and agency, because that is only 1%, because it is not going to affect the Indian GDP, please understand. So I'm not talking about the Hindustan Levers or ITCs or the Pepsis of the world. Definitely they have gone ahead and done it. Now that doesn't impact India. India is impacted when this 63 million, even 50% or 20% actually use AI in a systematic manner. Now, why they are not using? That they are not using because of few reasons. One, what I see here in the Gen Z's community, age group, AI is right now, India is at the stage where they are trying to explore AI. ChatGPT, few more video making and other stuff. Once you cross that age, then you go to utilizing AI. Once you cross that age, then you start getting into scaling AI. So if we are talking of contributing India, which is going to shift India, we are far beyond, because the majority are not using. Majority are not using AI, so this is a big gap what I see here from the Indian community perspective is concerned. And your last question which you mentioned about investment. I don't think AI is going to be a great special investment, because most of the large companies, OpenAI and Perplexity, have made it free for Indian people for at least a year. So in this year, I think after they made it free, people were still using it. After they made it free, no one is using much. They are only using trash to get a trash. So what goes in comes out the same thing. So please understand, buying subscription or buying, we always happy to buy a subscription, be it Netflix or any other things, but we don't actually utilize it to the maximum. So when that happens, then you contribute. Otherwise, you're just surfing on the shallow level, thinking, and you are very, emotionally happy that you have ChatGPT on your phone and your desktop, but you're not able to utilize it in a proper manner. I'm outside after this session. Come and meet me. I will tell you a few hacks. Without paying any ChatGPT or any AI, still you can use AI 100 times better than what you have been using now. I will be able to give you, because this is a common session. I can't give you in detail. So this is happening. So I think investment is happening at a broader level when it comes to banking, financial, big corporates. That is where the big AI and the cloud things are happening. But majority India, I don't think they are happening, because 68%, 68 million is a huge number.
Huge number, 6.8 crore.
8 crore,
Great.
yeah.
Great, thanks. You brought the MSME into picture. Let me come to the big corporate house. And we have somebody from Voltas. I'm sure a couple of us might have Voltas products at home. And we connect Voltas with AC. We also know that Voltas comes from a big corporate like Tata Group. So Pradipta, when I was also talking to you, and good insight that you gave me, Pradipta, good insight you gave me that Biko is actually a Turkish origination, headquartered in Netherlands, and an Indian corporate like Voltas thinks about joining hands. So you have, when we talk about using AI for brand building and emotional connect, now you have two brands at an organizational level, which is Voltas Beko. So take us through your own experience of when we do and implement AI, how can we preserve the brand promise and also the emotional connection? Do you feel it is still in your hand as a brand custodian, or you feel AI can also go wrong?
Uh, Good evening, everyone. So I think everything is in our hand, right? So as AI, what we do generally at various levels, Mr. Shobruta touched upon certain things. So we are generally people are talking about uh, Gen AI. There is the next level is agentic, how you use AI. So that's the cusp, actually, he rightly pointed out, we are in right now. So from a brand perspective, always we would need human judgment. Because these brands, like a Voltas, like any other brands, which are even a new brand, forget about Voltas for the time being, because Voltas is a legacy brand. So it has a lot of things, and it's from the house of the Tatas. So the lot of things merits on the human judgment, but AI, how we use AI is to get insights from the market, consumer insights, mining of how we can streamline data, and how do we use it while we are rationalizing with the things from our human in judgment and inputs. Yeah,
So brand custody is still with people
absolutely.
like you and others who are holding the brand
Yeah.
promise. Great. And also, we are suggesting that we should move from Gen AI to more advanced usage of AI.
Yeah, it will happen gradually, I think. The data points, what he
Great, great. Thank you,
highlighted.
thank you. Thank you, Pradipta. Let me come to Megha. Megha, since you are into creative side and you have worked with a lot of brands, so with AI generating so much of content, correct? Every brand is half human, half AI. Some brands are using full AI. Some are still using full human. So you have a lot of content in the market. So where do you place creativity? And if you place creativity, do you feel brands are able to differentiate in this clutter of content? If yes, if you can throw some examples.
Uh, I think I would say performance and poetry are not opposites. They are partners. So while creativity and something that you just mentioned comes, one cannot miss human craft, but I think AI becomes equally important to scale. An idea needs scale, and is able to give you that scale. Today, even in today's world, a great idea is still driven by human insight. An idea is not about what you make, it is still about uh, what it is, what is the purpose of the idea and what it is doing for you. Once you've done that is when AI actually helps you scale it. It does bring in the efficiency. And that is what we do with a lot of brands. Yes, it is able to bring in a lot of um, time-saving effort, but the core of it still stays human craft. The core of it still stays the vision and the judgment, which still comes from a human. It lacks conviction. It has output, it has scale, but the conviction and the judgment still comes from a human. So it is more about a hand-in-glove thing. One cannot operate without the other. It will help you scale, but it still needs to have the substance to be able to scale.
Great. Performance and poetry. Very well said. So let me come to you, Viraj. You can also throw some light about Sri Lanka, the way Subbu also spoke about, we have 6.8 crore MSMEs. And you can also throw light from your own group of company, which is Abans Group. So when this happens, which is human element is still important, AI will keep on using machines. Where do you put privacy? Because one side we are using technology and human mind to intrude into privacy and also personalize, which is good for the customer, target audience, and also for us. So when we do this, what is the level at which we are supposed to do this? One. Second, is it also more about encroaching the privacy of people?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. First of all, thanks for giving me this opportunity today. So, like you correctly said, so I'm coming. So, first of all, I'll just give you a bit of a, my background. So, I'm coming from Sri Lanka. So, whereas work in a group level, which is called ABAN. So, we are more into electronic industry. Also, we have other synergies companies like automobile, environment, malls, restaurants. There are so many, multi-brands organizations that we conduct in Sri Lanka. So when it's come to AI, and then bridging all these data in all these multiple organizations is very challenging, right? So once you find the gap, and then once you bridge with all the organizations across Sri Lanka, which we conduct, automobile to fashion to whatnot, and then to what extent are we utilizing these data, right? So we can bring in all these AI layers on top of it, and then we can do future marketing, like, MarTech and all. But personalization, when we talk about personalization, it won't happen without building a trust, right? So the personalization will work based on trust. Why I'm saying that? Because in an organization like us, we only focus on clarity, and then consent-led data, and then to what extent are we protect this data, building trusts. Adding to what you said, having so much of customer data across all the groups, to what extent are we protecting their data internally is what matters. Now in Sri Lanka, we are thoroughly looking into this PDPA Act, which is Personal Data Protection Act, which will play a huge role in Sri Lanka as well as I'm pretty sure it's India as well. So it will become one of the main element in globally, because people are going to be scared. Who are the people who's having our own personal data, and to what extent that they will use our data is all a big concern. It's all a question, right? So in that case, to protect a personal data, keeping privacy, we do not use a direct customer, a data, storing, for an example, if I'm going to break it down into details like names, phone numbers, whatnot, all this data. But we'll be not storing all of these things, but we'll be collecting all these data with customer consent, what customer is knowingly giving us, right? And then personalization should be very helpful for them, but it shouldn't come as a creepy way. So that's pretty much about it. So always we store data with crypted. We'll be not using third-party data to piggyback on all our marketing activities in future, or to get, sales conversions. Thanks.
Very good, very good. Well said. And what you're saying is right. If we have a trust and we have taken the consent, we can sleep with our consciousness that we are not breaching into customers' information without they knowing it. Thank you. Thank you also for giving the insight about multiple businesses which your group is into. Let me come to you, Ravi. And first of all, if you can throw some light, we all are curious, how do you get time for music and scuba diving with the post which you are managing, which is so much of full of responsibility. So take us through this, this notion, Ravi, that when he spoke about MarTech, I think we have seen the CMO's role evolving. Like in my generation, it was chief sales manager, and then we have a chief marketing officer. CMO, then people told, no, marketing person should also know technology. We cannot have CTO and CMO. The marketing person was told to learn technology also. Then we came up with this MarTech kind of a designations, correct? And today we are saying AI. The marketing person should also know AI, because he or she is responsible for entire investment in marketing. So if we are putting so much of load in this one person who is heading the entire critical role of managing the brand and entire marketing of an organization, so where do you see organizations are making biggest mistake while adopting AI in marketing? Is it we are overburdening this one person, Or do you feel we need 2, 3 designations to ensure that we do not do mistake?
Uh, Good evening, everyone, and thanks, Professor. See, I feel as a marketing head or a CMO, it's always been about the consumer, data, and business. I don't think that has changed. The landscape certainly has. Data has evolved, has become complex, and AI at the end of the day is data in a particular form, making sense of it at scale, at speed. Uh, and I think the CMO always has been someone who adds value to the business, depending on sector to sector. The sector I come from, which is conglomerate, industry, airports, energy, well-diversified sector. So I think if it stays limited to the marketing stack, I don't think AI is being optimized. I think that's the mistake possibly, not only in a sector like ours, I think across industries. What possibly a mistake one could make is to keep it limited to the marketing stack. It needs to be an enterprise level utility, capability, spanning across operations, sales, ESG, finance. I think if organizations don't build that capability and utilize AI across, I think that's a mistake we'll end up making, to answer your question.
So not only marketing, I believe everybody in the boardroom has to understand the role of AI. Very well said. So Subho, let me come to you when you spoke about metrics and KPIs. I remember you were the one who created a dashboard for MSMEs because MSMEs didn't know what is digital. They wanted to do digital because everybody was doing digital. And you rejected 100 MSME when they came to you because you told them you do not need it digital. So a lot of time organization wants to do because everybody is doing. And you created a very good dashboard which can help an MSME to see the return on digital marketing and social media. Now since we are discussing AI, take us through right KPIs which you are aware of and also take us through this entire notion of confusing ourselves with activity with impact. So do you feel in AI in marketing, we have reached an era in which the dashboard is neat and clean and everybody can measure what we are doing in AI? Or do you see we are still evolving?
I think, okay, let me put this way. AI only works on just now what Sir very rightly said. Right now, since ChatGPT, content making, content building, video building is somewhere related with content. So mostly people started jumping and associating AI adaptation is happening little faster on the marketing department or agency department or content making department or writing anything. But what Sir said is absolutely right. AI only works, or agentic AI, if I go much deeper, AI only works when the house is in order, which means when your departments are talking to each other, when your data is not on an Excel sheet, when your data is absolutely on a cloud or a server, then only AI will be able to give you insight. Because what is happening, what I see in the MSME, it is still on Excel sheet. Another biggest problem of the Indian background is that there is no single custodian for a marketing department when it comes to marketing or branding. There's no one. There's a sales guy who's running that. There's no dedicated budget allocated for marketing also. It is based on as and when ad hoc. Compared to corporates who have a dedicated marketing head, brand managers, CMOs, little structured. But once you put that person out, if you see these 68 millions of SME, they don't have a structure. The sales guy who's been running for 20 years suddenly has been promoted to sales and marketing and branding and so on and so forth. He don't know whom to hire. You don't know which agency to hire. You don't know which AI to subscribe. He himself is struggling to learn ChatGPT. So it's in a mess. So what is happening? Digital was hit him 10 years back. Now AI has hit him also. Now he don't know because that most of the people who are managing that role are just cross 35 to 55 age group. Now, people who are 45, 55, they're really struggling because they think, they start using ChatGPT just for fun. Now it is mandatory because there's a pressure from the agency side as well the client side. Then you need to produce content faster. Your TAT has reduced. Previously, you used to, I'll get back to you with a concept. Now you have to concept next day, few hours. So what is happening? There's a huge pressure from the marketing side, sales team, other pressure. So that, another way is that previously insights used to take a lot of time. Getting insight, which Sir was also saying, which you also mentioned. Now insights become much more faster with the help of AI. But believe me, AI actually will never work or will not work if they're actually human beings who have legacy of experience and certain amount of gut feeling to sometime tell this is a pattern, but I think this will work. So it will always be there. It is not that only machine will, because people buy from machine. I see a lot of AI, influencers have startup, right? So people buy from people. People don't buy from automated robotic AI saying this soap is good and this is a great TV to buy. It will never do that. So I think it will take time, and faster we do it is better, because now now the pressure is coming from across your globe. So it's going to be, and this so much of job loss has already started happening in across all metros. There's a pressure because everybody, all organizer wants to make more profit and less people, so there's a pressure. And people who are any which way okay, they still want to job cut, so that's a pressure happening across. So efficiency, yes, considering all these application is also quite pressure, and it's a big shock for the entire ecosystem.
Great, great. Very well said. So the learning will keep on happening. Today's AI, I don't know after 5 years which conference are we going to do, digital to social media to AI. So Pradipta, he spoke about the fact that people order from machine. I still remember some AC ad in which they say that Alexa switch on the AC. I bought a new AC which says that in the app you can switch on the AC before you leave from your office. So by the time you reach your bedroom is under the temperature which you wanted. So that is one part of probably when you spoke about machine talking to humans and human talking to machine. But after brand marketing, Pradipta, when performance marketing came, then there was a little bit of more clarity of dashboards and numbers which a CMO can explain to a CEO. So is this divide between brand marketing and performance marketing is still relevant in an industry like consumer durable? And in Voltas, do you got the dashboard right?
So your question is classified into two parts. One, we are talking about IoT, right? So IoT is not a new phenomenon, okay? IoT has been happening since, like, I don't know, 20 years back, okay? So now it has picked up in multiple categories. So consumer durable happens to be one category, okay? Automobiles, consumer durables, these are the categories you can see IoT on the face of it. So it will only pick up because when it started, the penetration starting from a handset to the viability of data, everything was a question, and all the gadgets were not connected. Only certain brands were connected, right? So now the environment is such, the ecosystem, what we call it, is such that there is more scope of brands which are larger portfolio to integrate everything. So that's one part of it. The second part of it, if you're talking about performance and brand marketing, which is now at this level, I'm not going to dwell deep into the funnels, right? But in terms of exposure, right? When you are exposing the brand to a consumer, it is an opportunity, it's an impression, right? So gone are the days when you are talking about, okay, performance is separate, okay, brand is separate. Now the kitty is limited, right? For every brand, even if you're talking about HUL, that they need a higher exposure. So everybody, like I keep on talking to my team, like, okay, there is a budget. Everyone feels that my budget is less, okay, across the board, okay. So when we are talking about exposure, this is the opportunity to exposure, which is the impression. So how much dent I can put, or how much impression or impact I can put on the consumer mindset. So that's the target. I think that's what we are striving to achieve.
Very well said. Great. And probably, as Subbo was saying, 35 to 55, before we also die, we might see full IoT impact in our home. All the devices are connected through technology, and Gen Z might be experiencing much early. So Mega, today we have a lot of agencies also in the hall, and we have a lot of creative work which they have done, which will be awarded. And in this AI first data heavy ecosystem, How do you see an ideal relationship between a brand and agency?
I think I would call it a relationship of a husband and wife.
Oh, wow. Amit is here.
No, I'm sure he's here, but um, it is equally important to understand that one can't do without the other. But it is about taking responsibility together and growing something together. An ideal relationship is when the brand is not just briefing the agency. They are not giving a brief, but giving a problem. The moment you give a problem is when your agency partner comes into picture and is working to solve a problem. They're not just sharing decks, they're sharing growth together. They need to have joint accountability, joint ownership together, and that is something that we're missing because all of us are just in the game, and something that you mentioned where we're all in the race of quantity as opposed to quality. Understanding of automation today needs to translate well that yes, it does bring in efficiency, but if it doesn't come with some amount of trust with your partner, it takes you nowhere. We will just be all over the place without really giving a final output. So for me, an ideal agency-client relationship is about driving growth together, solving problems together, being in it together, and making sure that you're winning together.
And for winning, they have to marry. So all the agencies ensure that your registered marriage is done with the brands which you are managing. And then this will be a growth story for both of them. Great, very well put up. So let me come to you, Viraj, from South Asian perspective. And Sri Lanka now plays a very important role in this continent. How important is cultural nuances? And in your experience, have you seen a brilliant work of AI which was found by the consumer like human, even though it was AI? So and also you can throw some light on cultural nuances. How do you deal with it?
Cultural nouns is, I would say, it's not a good thing to have in South Asian countries, right? I'm going to give you a classic example, right? So now most of you guys are from India, and I do not speak your language, right? What if I speak to you in Sinhalese? මම සිංහලෙන් කතා කරොත් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මේ කියන එක තේරෙනවද? Just assume that I just marketed myself to you all. But did you understand that?
Anybody understood?
I'm sure there's one guy, yes.
One has understood.
Right. So that is my market, right?
Language itself is different.
Right. So regional, this cultural nouns is not one market. It's a multiple, right? So when you picked up how you're going to do marketing, you have to see your country. You have to see the language barrier. You have to see it's a festival, right? So if you break it down in Sri Lanka, different regions, where most of the people are speaking Sinhalese, rest is English. Other part of Sri Lanka speaks Tamil. If you're going to do a marketing across Sri Lanka, it won't help you out, right? So this is where you need AI, data maturity, having the right set of data within your organizations to do all these marketing. So again, I'm saying, long answer short, this cultural situation is not one market segment.
Yeah, it's similar to our market also. Here also for a brand ambassador, we hire different in Bollywood, different in Tollywood, and different in different markets. So I think what you're saying is right, that in Sri Lanka, as you rightly told, there are 3 big markets.
Just to add on to that, so now when you're doing marketing also, now we do marketing automation, whatnot. So it could be one ad set has multiple, language, multiple creatives, but the marketing strategy would be the same.
Same strategy and multiple sets of consumers. Let me come to you, Ravi. And since you deal with a lot of complex sectors, infrastructure, energy, airports, how does AI fundamentally changing the role of marketing, which you also spoke about earlier, that the basic remains same, But from your own experience, do you feel still for managing an airport, you might have a different kind of AI mindset compared to energy or infrastructure?
See, in a lot of capital-intensive industries, organization like ours, I don't think the role of marketing or the leverage of AI is demand creation. It's more about becoming a intelligence layer for the organization so that across functions, we can listen in real time, we can respond in real times. So I think if in a conglomerate setup like ours, AI were to play that role and the marketing plays a dominant role there, I think that's where in complex sectors, AI's utility is max.
Very, very well said. Thank you. So we have last two questions. Anybody can chip in and then we can open it up for the audience and delegates to ask questions. So one is the skill set. What do you feel are the skills marketeers, agencies should invest in so that they're ready for evolving AI utilization? So anybody can throw some light on skill set. So whether it's agency side or brand side, what skill set should they?
Uh, s- Apart from agency, brand, since I've been speaking across more than 120 business colleges across India, so irrespective of who you are, be you an agency or a companies or whatever, if you're not adopting, learning AI, it is going to be quite difficult for you to even survive for next 2 years. It was not even 5 years, because I see huge job loss happening. TAT has reduced people looking for more skill. One people doing 30% or 40%. Every department is going to shrink. Marketing, because you need skilled people. You don't need quantity number of people. So that's a pressure. So faster you learn is going to be easy for you to survive. Irrespective if you're a professor or a teacher or a CXO or a CMO or a student will also have a difficult time because he will not be able to compete with another student who knows AI better than you. So you don't have to be an engineer. Because now I think no code and low code and prompting. If you know good amount of prompting, you can still survive and produce faster result. But cut, copy, paste is going to kill you, which 90% people do. Cut, copy, and paste. So that is the culture you need to come out.
Great.
That's most important.
Pradipta, what do you tell your team? What should they learn? What are they learning to be future ready?
So firstly, I second him. So mostly people, even in our ecosystem, AI is inbuilt in the Outlook, right? So now these days it's very common. So AI is much more than that. It's like not just I'm feeling lazy, I just type out an email and it will do all the things, how to articulate the mail and all that, right? So that's dangerous. That's you are actually killing your own creativity. Even basic creativity is the next level. So basic understanding of knowledge and sharpening your skill set. Even writing emails we are taught on business schools. So I think what people should invest on to understand the scope of AI first, then pick up, because it's a stream. It's not just one subject. If you know Claude today, if you are talking about Perplexity today, if you are using a GPT 4.5, everything should be used to their strengths. So there are multiple things of Gen AI. Now, how you transcend yourself to a agentic platform, like we talked about, like data should be commonly available, right? So we are talking here about journey pods. So this is a project, it is not only marketing. So who all are involved in that, you should come and streamline themselves and fight for that project together. So this what we call is journey pods. So now to start all these, you should start somewhere, right? So I think how to put proper prompts to get the proper results, even in a LLM, is very important. So I think that's the starting point people should start
Prompting
getting.
correctly.
Yeah.
Great. Yes, please.
See,
Ravi.
I'll steer clear of jargon. I'll say in very layperson language, simple language, and I'm reminded of the times we've gone through. When internet started in school, I know we used to have MS-DOS prompts, and later there was Y2K, the world was coming to an end, and I remember it left an imprint. Rediff.com was born, and we said, what a path-breaking thing, and it reminds us. I think what has always held any successful professional in good stead, I think, are the traits, if not skill set, of childlike curiosity and extreme hunger. So if someone has that for AI and translates and gets into action, that's all you need. Everything will fall in place.
Very, very well said. But since I represent a business school, Megha, help us. What should we teach our students?
Uh, I still reiterate that from an agency perspective or anyone, a thinking mind is not going to be replaced. But if you have a thinking mind and you're willing to also adapt to tech together, and you become a hybrid thinker, is only when you will actually survive for long. So I think the mantra, I think, like everybody said, is to learn, adapt, and evolve continuously. It's not just the prompting that will help you survive. It's the thinking and the prompting together that will help you survive.
Great.
And
Yes.
and adding to that, so
Please.
I also think, my personal view, the AI is not for those who prompt. So AI is for thinkers, right? If they can think well, I'm sure they can get most out of it. And then again, they cannot replace human creativity. But for the marketers' future, they should be strategists, technologists, and also storytellers.
Great. So last question to all of you, and I'm sure that when you spoke about prompting is also the best, it's the basic, like we need to actually evolve into prompting, right? And then definitely. So 2030, if we all meet again for a panel discussion, are we going to be half robot and half human? Or are we going to be fully robot? Or my avatar will come here and sit and do the moderation? Or what it's going to happen? So 2030, any prediction? Same conference, 2030 we are meeting. Will the audience will be more AI sitting at home, but their clown is here? 2030, any prediction?
I'm not the best person to predict things, but last year I predicted so many things. This could happen in this year, but the came and did everything for us. But then again, strategies again put us up. But 2030, what I would believe, even not in 2030, after, since that you asked very first questions about like privacy, the data, right? The people will be most care about data going forward, because all the marketers, all these services will based on data. If your data is holding some of the organizations, if they are not protecting us, this is where that you have to be like very careful about. This is where that when I say personalization should build on trust, not on personalizations anymore.
Great, great. So privacy and data, securing data. Anybody else, 2030?
Professor, maybe you
Please,
are,
please.
maybe you're at Mars and conversing with us.
Possibly. Subho?
I think human will always want to hear from a human being. Be it 2030 or whatever, robots. We have avatars on our Snapchats and Instagrams, right?
Uh-huh.
But we prefer to talk to a human being when it comes to emotional.
Very true.
Storytelling is going to be there from Mahabharata stage to still now on Reels. The stories, the format must have changed from 1 hour episode to a 30 seconds reel, 1 minute reel. Storytelling is going to be there throughout, because we love human beings, and human beings, how fast technologically you can wear gadgets, but anyway you're going to tell stories. So I don't think, new crowd will be here. Few of you will lose hair, few of you will get a white hair like me, few of you will be new here, but 2030 will again be, so don't worry.
Correct. So let me make it more specific, Megha. What should be the title of our panel discussion in 2030? Oh my God. So rather than running around the bush, give me the title.
Oh my God, this is,
Just wild guess.
I think I would probably call it, I'm sure it's not going to be the digital and the social media world for sure, but we'll probably have like the more futuristic avatar world of whatever discussion we do.
Great.
So we'll have something on those lines.
Futuristic
for sure.
avatar, I might relay from Mars.
And we all know that
Human will remain human.
tomorrow begins today. So we
Tomorrow
have to
begins
start
today,
thinking about it.
and privacy will be the game. Pradipta, last word. 2030.
So I think the human touch, storytelling, everybody has touched upon it, right? That we always crave to meet someone, right? So in terms of knowledge sharing in multiple facets of life, I think these kind of forums probably more people, like scalability will go higher. More people would join a forum or virtually or something. But I think there will be a physical domain from where these things will be operated.
Great. So guys, we all will be alive and kicking. So I thank each one of you. I think it's more than 100 years of work X, which we try to brought it in 42 to 43 minutes.